Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at my level 50 100% IV Reshiram. So it was one power up away from being completely maxed out. I had no idea, so I invested the rest of the rare candies and we powered it up, and here we are. Of course, we are going to be going with Fusion Flare, its signature move, Dragon Breath, and then Crunch. I did encounter one that had Stone Edge, which took me by surprise, but yeah, we're going to go with those standard moves there. And then we do have the Zygarde making a return, and this is actually going to be completely maxed out as well. Unfortunately, of course, not a 100% IV, but still a damn good. And we are going to actually equip it as our best buddy, so might as well be at this point. And because we do have the tanky Zygarde on the team, we're going to be rolling with the Shadow Excadrill, one of my favorite Pokemon in the Master League now. Absolutely worth the investment, as I can use it in raids as well as one of the best ground type attackers. All right, folks, how you doing? Hope everybody's having a great day. Would have had this video up a little bit sooner. I just had a bunch of errands to run, including dropping my car off at the shop again. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. Next game, we're going to be met with a Giratina. This is a great matchup here for us. Now, I have been encountering a lot more Giratinas with Dragon Pulse, so that does do quite a bit of damage if you don't shield it up, even to the Zygarde, as you're going to see here. Now, we are going to be seeing quite a bit of the same leads here. So you're going to see a few Giratinas, and then you're going to see kind of a pattern after that. So they're going to be swapping into their Togekiss. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Excadrill here. We want to make sure we kind of time it so they don't sneak in extra charms there, because we are actually taking a decent amount of damage as this Steel type, because, well, at the end of the day, Excadrill is pretty squishy here. So we're going to let this go. I was kind of hoping that they were going to go for Ancient Power, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and bring in the Reshiram, the star of the show. Let's go and farm them down. Now, let's talk about Reshiram here for a second. So Fusion Flare is obviously a great move, and it is going to be part Fire as well as Dragon, so you're not necessarily weak to Fairy, which is going to be nice, and you're not necessarily weak to Water. Do you still take a decent amount of damage? You do. Yeah, you do, but I'm going to have to say, after using it today, I'm super happy that I powered it up. Definitely worth the investment here. And another thing about Reshiram, and I guess you can say Zekrom too, and then Kyurem as well, I wonder if we're going to be able to fuse them in the future, and it's going to work kind of like, let's say, Mega Evolutions. We already made a video on this, and where it's going to be timed, and you're going to need energy. That'd be pretty cool, because they would kind of be active like a Mega, because they're going to be doing so much damage, but who knows. Getting a little ahead of ourselves, let's get back into the fight here. So we are going to be bringing in the Zygarde to go up against this Dragonite here. We're going to go ahead and let that go because, well, yeah, this thing is just incredible. All right, if you haven't, made one yet, or you're trying to, and you're just thinking, man, this grind for these every day, is it really worth it? And you play in the Master League, maybe you're hardcore into it, maybe you play it casual. Either way, you still want it, and just keep that grind going. Trust me, I was right there with you. I don't hate it. I just took so much time, to get the cells, and sometimes I didn't get it. But at the end, once you do, are able to get enough to make that, it's definitely worth it. All right, so we're going to shield that up, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Crunch on the Reshiram. It was cleaning up today. Did pretty stinking good, I'm going to have to say. You do take a decent amount of damage from that Aqua Tail, though, that's for sure. Next game, we're met with a Mewtwo, so we're going to see quite a few Mewtwo's as well, and I'll take it. It's a good lead for me, so I'm not going to be complaining about it. If we do encounter a Charm user in the front, even a Fairy, too, we're not going to be looking the best. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go for that Crunch, while, of course, letting that Side Strike go. And they're going to be letting that Crunch go. At this point, I think we could farm them down. All right, so yeah, definitely they go for Shadow Ball. That sounds good to me. Perfect. They're bringing in Togekiss. I'm not going to just sit there and waste my energy and stuff and let them farm me down. So I'm just going to be bringing in the Reshiram. We do have the Excadrill to handle that Togekiss. So I go Crunch if you're like, why didn't you just go Fusion Flare? I thought they would shield and we might get a defense drop. But it works out better this way anyway. Actually, that was my strategy the whole time. I wanted to bring in the Excadrill to get enough farm so we could spam them with Rock Slide. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be able to win. So technically, perfect that they let it go. And I didn't actually go for Fusion Flare because I would have KO'd. And we needed that extra energy to farm them down. Maybe that's what they were thinking too. But here we are. Let's go have a little fun here. Now, we are going to need to get to 2 more Rock Slides, which we will be able to do, no problem. Wait, is it 2? Let me see here. Yeah, well, 1 and then 2, and easy money. Excadrill taking the win for us here. Absolutely worth the investment. We currently do have the Rocket event, so if you do have a good Drillbur or Excadrill that you're waiting to team away frustration on that Shadow, go ahead and do it now. Next game, we're met with a Palkia, and this is going to be a good matchup for us here. We've done it many a times before. Spatial Rend will do a lot of damage. It's not going to KO, but it is going to pretty much do all their health there. As you can see, quite a bit, but we are going to also be able to do quite a bit as well with our Dragon Tail to the Palkia there. Now, we're going to let this Aqua Tail go. You're going to see how much it does. A decent amount. Okay. All right, so we're farming them down. We still have 2 shields, and they're bringing in a Ho-Oh. Now, we have a massive resistance to this because we're both fire as well as dragons. So, Reshiram is the Ho-Oh killer for sure, but you know, there is always Brave Bird that they can go for. So we are going to be shielding that Brave Bird up, and they're swapping into a Mewtwo. Sounds good to me. Now, so long as they do not have Focus Blast, we should be perfect. Great. So we drop their defense, which works out even better. Bringing in the Excadrill, easily going to let this go here. And, ooh, I think we wanted to farm up a little bit more before taking them out, but that's okay. And we're just going to go down immediately here. Unfortunately, 2 quick moves worth of energy that they just got there, but we're going to be able to Dragon Breath them down. So they did throw this at 1 HP, and we were able to sneak that Dragon Breath through. So yeah, well, 1 more Dragon Breath, and now they're out of here. Next game, what do we got going on? We're leading with Zygarde the entire time, met with another Mewtwo. Like I said, we're going to see quite a bit of the same things in the front, which is okay with me. And we're going to let this go here. So you can take, was it 3 Psy Strikes from Mewtwo with Zygarde? Yeah, that's just incredible. Other than resisting it, there's nothing else that can take that many. Again, like if you have to be Steel or Psychic, those things can, like Metagross and Lugia. But if you're not resisting it, yeah, it's about 2 and done. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take that win there, and we didn't even use a shield while they did. Hey, and there's that Reshiram. Remember I said Stone Edge? So I'm going up against it. I completely spaced out it even had Stone Edge. I was just thinking to myself, I'll just shield it up, Stone Edge. Thank goodness, because if we didn't, I mean, what's in the back? Yeah, it would have been pretty tough to win that with Excadrill, that's for sure. And now we're in an amazing position here with Crunch and all that. You know, Dragon Breath too. This is looking just great. All right, now at this point, I did answer the door for a pizza, so this is the reason why I did not shield it up. And I wasn't really tapping there straight after the shield, and I was actually able to still pull this one off. So, you know, one of those pizza days, round table, Maui Zowie. Damn, let's go. The thing is good. All right, so we're going to be shielding that up, of course, and fortunately it is an ominous win, but we're able to get to the drill run before they get to the Shadow Ball. And we saved the pizza. Let's get it. Let's move it on to the next game. What are we going to see here? Leading with that Zygarde, met with the Dialga. This is okay. This is no problem at all. Yeah, you just have to call the Iron Head. They usually like to build up to Draco, which this is not Draco here, so we're going to just go ahead and let that go. Iron Head. What you want to do is build up to your Earthquake, Outrage, whatever you have, and then go for the Crunch. You can go for the Earthquake, but then you see they're going to shield up, but not all the time. You know, you pick and choose when you want to go for it. Now we'll go ahead and go Earthquake here if they want a double shield, and they're double shielding. Sounds good to me. So, of course, we're going to be bringing in the Excadrill, and we'll shield this up. If it's an Iron Head, well, that's going to sting. Draco, good call. That still would have almost KO'd us because this thing just can't take a hit. We're going to go ahead and just take them out before they hit us again with another charge move here. Iron Head will still do a decent amount. They have Swampert in the back. Ain't that some stuff right there? When I have a fire and a ground, we get that Swampert. Hey, sounds good to me. Bring it into the old Reshiram here to catch a Hydro Cannon. Not doing that much damage. Bringing in a Metagross. We're going to go for Fusion Flare. Oh, hell yeah. That was satisfying as hell. Going for the Crunch up against Swampert here. Not going to take them out, but it's still going to do a decent amount. At this point, it is a wrap. We'll go ahead and just let this go here. Hydro Cannon takes me out. Going for the drill run immediately as the Excadrill enters the battle to take out that Swampert and take the win. Moving it on here. What are we going to see for the next game? A Solgaleo. Okay, this is excellent. This is actually stupendous. All right. So we'll let all this go. Okay, Psychic Fang over and over again. It could hit me with an Iron Head after like the 4th one or 3rd one, I suppose, but that really depends on what I'm throwing at them. I'm building up to the Earthquake, and we're going to go for the Crunch. Hopefully they use a shield. Pretty sure they don't. Okay, and they do resist the Dragon Tail, so we're not really doing too much on that end there, and we do resist their quick move as well. So they are going to be shielding up that next Crunch. They're on their, what, like third Psychic Fangs now? And they're retreating and bringing in a Dragonite. So they've dropped my defense. We're going to be taking quite a bit from them. So we're going to go ahead and retreat ourselves and bring in Excadrill, get to that Rock Slide, and I don't think this is actually going to be enough to KO. But we're shielding this up. Go figure, it's a Dragon Claw. If I would have let it go, it would have been a superpower. It always is the opposite. So we're able to take them out there with one more quick move, which is great. So we're able to farm up a little bit more. Bringing in Groudon here. This is looking pretty good for us, I suppose. Reshiram is going to be weak to ground, but, you know, Dragon Breath is still going to be doing so much damage. We'll let this Fire Punch go, of course. We're definitely not shielding up Excadrill at this point, and I think we're going to want to bring in our Zygarde here to kind of force them to use more energy. Fire Punch is not enough, and yeah, I knew they would do that. Sounds good. So we're just going to do more with our Dragon Tail. They're bringing in their Solgaleo, and what we're going to do at this point is just farm them down, and then we'll be able to hit them with the charge move with our Reshiram on the Groudon. Or we'll just Dragon Breath them down. Yeah, they still had a shield left. Let's just go ahead and do that and not waste anybody's time. Moving it on, folks. What are we going to see? If you can hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. A shiny Shadow Mewtwo. Folks, let's get it. That is going to be happening very soon. Make sure you do get ready for that. You have to find a few friends because remember, you're not going to be able to use your remote raids on this thing, which is very unfortunate. Going to have to get out there in person. Now, I might do a couple. Yeah, I might go out there and do a couple, but I already had some, and I'm not going to drive around all day fishing for a really good shiny Shadow, which there's nothing wrong with that. I've already done that. I've been there, done that. Again, my car's in the shop. I'm just like, yeah. But it's definitely worth it, obviously. It's the strongest thing in the game. And then you can purify them to get a 100 for when Mega Mewtwo X and Y come out, so you'll be nice and ready. As far as the signature moves, they didn't say they had them, right? So you're going to have to use your elite TMs to get Shadow Ball or Psy Strike, which is not too big of a deal. All right, so we're up against the Kyogre here, and they're doing a good amount of damage, and they're throwing perfect. This is exactly what we want them to do here. That Dragon Breath was really eating them alive there. So, of course, we're going to be bringing in our Zygarde. We have no more shields. We can't bring an Excadrill to go up against this thing. Getting to the Grunch. Thank goodness we had to take this thing out. We can't go up against that with our little mole here. And then immediately swapping in, and they back out. It's a wrap, and we're looking good here. I was having a lot of fun with this Reshiram team. I know I could make it more balanced without the Zygarde, but I'm just, you know... I just can't help myself. It's just too fun to use these things on the same team. So they're swapping into their Dialga. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Excadrill. This is not enough to take them out, unfortunately. Roar of Time. Iron Head. Sounds good. And we survive, obviously. Still in the yellow. Immediately going for the Rock Slide as they do bring in that Ho-Oh. This is going to do quite a bit, so they're going to be shielding it up. Unfortunately, 2 quick moves worth of energy there, too, just like last time. And, I was contemplating, we could bring in Reshiram, huh? So I bring in Zygarde because I figured I'd be able to just absorb the Brave Bird, right? But they're swapping and bringing in their Kyogre. Okay, so what we're going to do here is wait for them to throw, I think, and then swap into the Reshiram. Oh, no, we're going to stay here because we do have such a massive resistance to Ho-Oh and with the Reshiram. And this is a better matchup. They back out anyways. We're looking good. Let's keep it moving here, folks. Now, I've been working on getting to best buddy with this thing, and I need to continue on with that. Wow, the leads are just on fire today. So a Melmetal, they're going to be swapping into a Lugia. I could... What's the answer? Excadrill? Pretty much, right? But you're going to see why I'm acting like this when I say that, because although it is a pretty good counter, it's still going to take a lot of damage here. So we're going to let this go. Aeroblast. Oh, but we're still going to be able to take the win. This thing is just very reliable here. If they shield us up, we're pretty screwed. All right. Well, I can't say we're screwed. But they are actually going to bring in their Melmetal, farm us up, and then swap into their Kyogre. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is double shield the Reshiram here and have the Zygarde go up against the Melmetal. Period. That's what we need to happen. We take super effective damage from Rock Slide. And this is a better matchup for us here. So we are eating away with that Dragon Breath. I think, you know what? I think we may let this go here. Okay. And swap into the Zygarde. We don't quite have the charge move ready to go on the Reshiram, but we can get there in about 2 Dragon Breaths. And we can do that going up against the not very effective Thunder Shock from the Melmetal here. So Rock Slide, not very effective. They're not going for the superpower because, well, that's going to lower their stats. Going for the Earthquake here. I'm not even playing any games. Doing a lot of damage and almost taking them out there. And bring them into the red. We will be letting this go here, calling another Rock Slide. Things are getting a little bit interesting. I figured at this point they're going to go for Superpower. So I shielded up, and that's exactly what they go for. And I farm them down here. They get to another one, unfortunately. I'm thinking, come on, man. Just go down. Superpower there. And going for the Crunch. And I do believe we are going to go down, and then Reshiram takes it out with a Dragon Breath. That was a close one. Next game, we're going to be met with Elandris. This is another great lead for us here, as they usually run Stone Edge, and then the Sandsear Storm really doesn't do too much damage to us here. Although it is lowering our attack every single time they're doing it. We're just kind of tanking it and, you know, just dishing it right back, as a matter of fact, as you can see already in the yellow here. Going for the next one, which I don't even think will bring us into the yellow. Yeah, look at this beast. Look at this beast. Cheat codes is what it is. Straight up game genie, like back in the day. Oh man, good old days. I remember it came with a big book, and if you lost it, it was over because there was no internet. Okay. Okay, so they have a Porygon Z out here. Very, very spicy. This trainer is awesome for this here. Hitting me with a Blizzard too, as a matter of fact. And look at how we take that Blizzard. Wasn't that something? That's the Reshiram power fire there for you. Alright, so we're going to let that go, unfortunately. They did use 2 shields. I didn't feel like using any. I figured I'll just farm it down here and destroy whatever's in the back with the Excadrill. So they are bringing in a regular Palkia. We're going to go for Earthquake as we're getting stabbed, and it's just doing the most damage here. We don't want to go up against that with our Excadrill. We will let this go because we can farm them down at this point, and that'll be a great energy, but we're still taking that win there. We'll shield this up, and that's our battle wrap. There you have your Reshiram, folks. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!